On the menu today, beautiful people, is some delicious but simple okro stew. And then I start by cleaning and washing my tilapia. I just wash this with salt water and then I'm sliding it into my oven. Now next thing I'm using is goat meat, and I'm going to spice this with some onions, ginger, garlic, scotch bonnet pepper, and some red and green bell peppers. So added a bit of water, blended this, and I'm adding this to my meat. I'm also going to spice it with some coriander and seasoning cube. Also went in some basil, and then I'll cover this and let it steam. But then I forgot to add salt, so at this point I'm introducing salt. Very important to add salt while you steam your meat. So while that is happening, I want this to cook very well. I'll just go ahead and then cut my vegetables that I'll be using. So in your screen right now is the okro, and this is how I am going to cut my okro for today's recipe. Once I'm done cutting the okro, I'll set part aside. I am going to blend the small one, which will add the slime that I want in my okra stew. I'm also using garden eggs or eggplants for this recipe, so I'll also cut that into my desirable sizes. Once that is done, I'll give it a thorough wash to get rid of the seeds as much as I can, and then I would use the main plant for the recipe. I'm also cutting some red bell pepper, which will be the last thing that I'll add to this stew. I'm just dicing it into very small pieces. The last thing I'm dicing up here is my onions, and this right here was gifted to me by my uncle on the day I got married. This is the first time I'm actually using it. It's a 2-in-1 something. You can use it with your gas or add your charcoal and use it as a coal pot. Yes, I had some charcoal there, and let me take you back a bit. So I did it on the same day I did my village in a city live video where I prepared my assorted pepper sauce. You can check on that. And then when I finished, I just used the fire that was left from the firewood to do this. So into my saucepan is going in my homemade palm oil. Yeah, I did it myself. I'll also leave the link to that in my description box. And then I'm going to add my momoni to this. Yes, salted fish. I'm going to add this tongue fish. Yeah. I'm just going to add that to my oil and let it fry. Now the next thing I'm going to add is my onions, and I'll also let it fry for a minute or two. Next thing I'll add is my meat that had steamed nicely. This is nicely cooked, and all the sauce around it is what is going to make the difference in this stew. That is how come I added all those bell peppers. I've added everything to it, and then I am just going to let this fry for some few minutes. Now I'm introducing a little water. This is because I am not boiling my garden eggs and okra separately, so I'm adding just a little water so that it will help boil it when I introduce it. So I'll let this water boil before I introduce my veggies. At this point, I add in my diced garden eggs, and then I'll stir, cover, and let it boil before I add in my okro. But before the okra comes in, remember our tilapia from the beginning? Yes, it had grilled nicely in the oven, and I'm going to add that to this so that it can absorb all the juices, all the spices from the meat and everything that is happening right here. Once that is done, our okra comes in, and then we give this a very nice stir. If you're enjoying the video at this point, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I'll be very happy to have you here. Now at this point, I added some spring onions. Guys, it just takes this stew to another level. Just try adding spring onions to your okra and you will love it. So I added the blended okra to the stew. Unfortunately, I didn't film that part, but then I added part of what I blended. It really depends on how slimy you want it. If you want it very slimy, you make sure that you blend more, but this is what I'm going for. Now the final thing I added was the diced red bell pepper, and they give this beautiful color to this dish, and it tastes absolutely delicious. And you should give this a try, beautiful people. Though it is simple with just 2 proteins every 7, when you're having this with your banku, every scoop of this has a bit of spring onions, not just your okra but garden eggs, and the crunch from the bell peppers. Gosh, the taste is so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I'll see you again in another video. Keep staying safe and stay blessed. Bye.